Hello, we're going to have new adventures in determining whether something is inductive or deductive. I'm going to be going over the handout, which was the inductive or deductive um, parts 2 and 3, and you should have that in front of you in some form, and I want to give you the correct answers and explain why those are the answers. So it would be good if you had your sheet. I am not going to be showing you this anymore. Instead, I'm going to read it to you slowly, give you the answers, and I'm going to show you my cheesy, the cheesy graphic that I made, and explain why what you have in front of you is what it is. Part 2, it's part 2 because part 1 was in the book, if you hadn't figured that out. But you needed to identify D for deductive, I for inductive. Number 1, if healthcare is, number 1 is deductive. It's deductive. There is a generalization that starts with, if healthcare is a human right. That is an assumption, by the way, but it's a piece of evidence. Congress passes a new bill. We assume that it's doing something to help get more people health care. Our conclusion is that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Number 2 is induction, and this is a scientific theory. Just to remind you, it's called the germ theory of disease. We've seen much evidence over the years, not just one piece, but myriad pieces of evidence where people are exposed to germs and they get sick. Person is exposed, gets sick. Person exposed, gets sick. That's going on and on. We have the generalization up here that germs cause disease. Number 3 is also induction. Induction for number 3. You blew off your homework 4 times, and every time you failed the quiz. So we have evidence, actually 4 pieces of failed tests and no studying. So we come to the generalization. It's a good idea to study, to do the homework. Number 4 is deduction. And we start with the generalization. Dogs are sometimes aggressive when they're on leashes. You're taking your dog to a place where there are other dogs. Conclusion, you should take the leash off so the dog's not as aggressive. That is not good thinking. We actually evaluate that in Chapter 7, and you'll find out why later, but it's deduction at work. Now, remember the generalization here is based off induction. So while 4 is deduction, that generalization that dogs are sometimes aggressive on leashes came from somewhere. It came from induction. I have this dog that spazzes every time I put a leash on him. So dogs must get aggressive when they get a leash. Probably we want to look at more evidence before we take that generalization to the dog park and start, as we do in number 4, removing the leash. Number 5. Generalization, money can buy justice. OJ had money. It's no surprise he beat the murder rap. Number 6, we have a piece of evidence. You like the group Black Eyed Peas. So we come to the generalization conclusion that you must like hip-hop funk in general. It's not good critical thinking. It's a hasty generalization. You'll see in Chapter 7. We should have expose you to more music before we come to the conclusion you like that genre. It's perhaps, maybe you just simply like the Black Eyed Peas because you think that Fergie's hot even if she is old enough to be your mother. We don't know. And that's the problem with induction. We need more evidence in order to have good generalizations. And again, in induction, the best we can hope for is that this generalization will be cogent or highly probable. Number 7 is induction. I-7. In the United States, there are high sales of Three Musketeers bars, which are nougat filled. And apparently in Europe it's the same thing. So we come to the generalization that people love nougat filled candy bars. Number 8 is deduction. Smoking increases the risk of cancer. If you smoke, that's the minor evidence you need to quit. Now, this deductive argument, the generalization smoking causes cancer, that is based off the cogent generalization that we found in induction. Many years, we looked at evidence for smokers seem to have cancer, and it's been developed over about 100 years where smoking is carcinogenic, increases your risk. And so we can take that generalization and now make decisions. This is how the doctors do it. We have the generalization, smoking increases your risk. You come in and see your doctor and you tell him or her that you smoke. He or she should tell you to lay off that stuff. Number 9 is deduction. D, layering clothes keeps you the warmest. You're going out for skiing and it's going to be cold, so you need to do a form of layering, i.e. putting thermals under your sweatshirt in this case. Now, we know, again, all the generalizations we use in deduction came from an inductive conclusion. The generalization, again, in a generalization of an inductive argument, the generalization is your conclusion. We came to the idea layering clothes keeps you the warmest because we went on various ski trips or outdoor activities, and we discovered when we layered we were warmer. And we take that generalization now that we have the knowledge. And in number 9, we're faced with a decision. Okay, layering clothes keeps you the warmest. I'm now going out where it might be cold. I'm going to layer up. Number 10 is induction. You've owned 3 muscle cars. Here we are. Come to the generalization. You must like fast cars. That's I, induction. 3 is induction. I read the first 2, book 1 of the Harry Potter series, book 2, and I come to the generalization. The rest of them must be good too. Number 2, we enjoy beach vacations the best. This is a deduction a deductive argument. And that generalization we're thinking of vacationing various places, and we go, okay, we should go to the beach. Now, how did we get this generalization? Number 2 is D. How did we get it? Well, through experience. We went to the beach. It was great. We went to the mountains. It wasn't so good. We went to the desert. What were we thinking? We went to a lake. It was pretty good. Went to the beach. It was great, etc. And we just eventually get the generalization. We're beach people. So now when we vacation, generalization, we enjoy beach vacations. We're going to go on a vacation. There are options. We're going to pick the beach. 3 is induction. We look, and Mama Floyd, she had melanoma. Uncle Irwin, he had melanoma. Cousin Clyde had melanoma. Well, we come to the generalization. There might be a genetic predisposition for the disease that you have. Number 4 is deductive. When something is challenging, you need to devote more studying to it. The minor premise, a new piece of evidence. The concepts of induction and deduction are challenging. Conclusion, I should study. 5 is also deductive. Generalization, celebrity marriages seem doomed. This is a bit dated, but still works. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck are married. My conclusion, I don't think they'll last. Now we come to this generalization. Again, 5, not to confuse you, is deduction. Why can we say that celebrity marriages don't last? Well, it's because we have done a lot of induction. We look at all the celebrities, Sonny and Cher, all kinds of different people who seem to get married and don't stay married, who are celebrities. And we come to the generalization, celebrities' marriages just don't work out as a general rule. Number 6 is induction. I have my cell phone broke on the kitchen floor. My cell phone broke on the kitchen floor. My cell phone broke on the kitchen floor. I come to the generalization, cell phones should be made more durable. So that is an inductive conclusion. Now, we can look at evidence, and I just want to point this out. When we get to 7, there are myriad inductive conclusions we could come up with. Other than that one, I bust my cell phone on the ceramic floor 3 times. I might have the generalization, maybe I should not use ceramic tiles, just too hard. Or maybe I could come to the generalization, I should not be such a klutz. Or maybe I come to the generalization that I should get some sort of carry or a cover or protective device for my cell phone. 7 is deduction. Generalization, math is my most challenging subject. I'm taking algebra as the minor premise. Using this generalization, I look at that piece of evidence and come to the conclusion I'll be challenged by that. This is my life story. And whenever I had to take a math class or whenever I decide on anything, I had the generalization. Math challenges me. I have a minor premise. You should be an engineer. You make lots of money, but you need to know math. Conclusion, I don't care if there's money. I'm not going to do that. That's the way we function. I came to the generalization myself. Again, this is my life story through a lot of induction. I started in 4th grade, evidence, having problems with math. Junior high, that's what they called it then. I had problems in math. Generalization, it's just challenging for me. And that's shaped my life. I carry that generalization and now decide, okay, math is challenging for me. If there's a course that requires lots of math, I'm going to have to work very hard, is my conclusion. That's how we work. 8 is deduction. Deduction, generalization, even though the month is short. February seems to drag. Minor premise, February comes up this year. Conclusion, it's going to be a drag. Number 9 is induction. Running elevates my heart rate. Lifting weights makes me feel toned. Generalization, working out is good for my body. Number 10 is induction. There's a commercial where there's a beautiful person that doesn't seem to know anything about the Chevy Equinox. There's another beautiful person trying to sell me a computer. Here's another person that's just lovely talking to me about a product. I come to the generalization. They're trying to appeal to me on something other than a logical or intellectual level, more emotional. So that's how induction and deduction work. I hope that was edifying for you. And in Chapter 7, we start launching into not just identifying it, but these two forms of logic, but actually evaluating, okay, not just is it inductive or deductive, but is it good? We'll get to that later on. In the meantime, I hope you're well. Be safe. Do your social distancing thing. Take care of yourself. Look out for others. And God bless you.